A Los Angeles Derby Dolls bout consists of 4 quarters, each lasting 15 minutes. These quarters are divided into 60-second rounds called jams. Each team has 5 players on the track in each jam, 4 players called blockers, and 1 point-scoring player called the jammer. You can always distinguish the jammers from the other players on the track by their starred helmets. It's the jammer's job to try to score points, and the blocker's job to try to stop them. The first whistle will sound to start the jam, and the blockers launch onto the track. The blockers form a tight grouping called the pack. The jammers race their way around the track and catch up to the pack. The jammers must then fight their way through the pack. The blockers from the opposing team will try to stop them, while the blockers on their team try to assist them. The jammers have now broken out of the pack and must race their way around the track and meet up with the pack again. Keep an eye on the jammer in front. She is your lead jammer and can call off the jammer by placing her hands on her hips. The pink jammer is now in position to score. She receives 1 point for each member of the opposing team she passes. As the pink jammer racks up points, the yellow jammer catches the pack and is now also in position to score. The yellow jammer will also receive 1 point for each member of the pink team she passes. The jam ends when 60 seconds have elapsed, or when the lead jammer calls off the jam by placing her hands on her hips. Players are not permitted to purposely trip or tackle their opponents. Players can block each other using their bodies and shoulders, but cannot use their elbows, forearms, or hands. Players violating the rules will be placed in the penalty box located on the infield, forcing their team to skate the next jam with 1 less skater. The game ends after 4 quarters. The team with the most points at the end of the bout is your winner.
In the event of an emergency, please make your way to the nearest lighted exit in an orderly fashion. The main building exits are located through the doors you enter. The assembly point is directly outside the doors. Please notify our site manager of any emergencies.
Hello and welcome to Doll Holla for tonight's LA Derby Dolls bout between Fight Crew and the Scream Queens. Are you ready to meet the skaters?
First up, we're going to meet the Fight Crew. Number 10, Knockout. Number 11, Skeeve Jobs. Number 35, Shock Me Amadeus. Number 85, Belle Scorcho. Number 212, Chopslicks. Number 513, Doomsdaisy. Number 524, Sonia Sotomayor. Number 802, No Fox Given. Number 1503, Mona Lethal. Number 1964, Mary Poppums. Number 3000, Pip Girl. Number 5515, Vanessa Bludgeons. Number 9637, Jane Woe, your co-captain. And your captain, number 115, Sly Fox. Fight Crew alternates today are Chu Blocka, Angelina Rowley, and Vita Blockham. And coaches are Hot Wheels and Skatum.
All right, one more time for Fight Crew, and please keep it going for your Scream Queens. #04, Damage Dane. 26, Betty Rampage. Number 97, Slammin' Amazon. 156, Horchata. 226, Radom. 369, Tenacious B. 421 Dread and Roses. 509 Whoopi Roberg. 647 Whiskey Behavior. 818 it's Valley Hurl. 925 Sweet Home Alabama. 1010 Chick Van Dyke. 3720 Hannah Barbarian. And the captain of your Scream Queens, 305 Gandalf the Cray. Coaching tonight, we've got Brooklyn Decker and Block Matrix, Alternate Junk, Not Skating, Ice Creamer, Nunchucks, and Nightmare and the Scream Queens.
It's time to meet the enforcers. Your head ref tonight is Metallicile. Game executioner, Bunny Holly. Jam refs are Morning Wood and Suspect Ed. Your pack refs are Wild Bill Hiccup and Casey Cajones. Outside pack ref, Hasselblack. Your penalty tracker is Lady Macbeth. Penalty tracker assistant, Helvetica. Penalty administrators, Gogo Ishiroll and Ref Leopard. Your eyes in the sky are E.T. Anthony and E.T. Carroll. Your scoreboard operator is the Kingslayer. And on whiteboard, we have E.T. Anna. Give it up for the enforcers.
All right, we want to thank our EMTs, the Dull Repair Team, the Track Monkeys, and the Rad Crew. Our DJ is MacBook Air. I'm Trixie Biscuit, and I'm here with Laura Schmashley. Hey, Laura. The Derby Dolls acknowledge that we gather on traditional, unceded Kizh and Tongva land. We ask League members and the Derby Dolls community to honor with gratitude the Kizh and Tongva people, elders, and the land itself. We are grateful to the earth and sun and deities of this world of the Kizh and Tongva people. All that having been said, are you ready for roller derby action? Make some noise, Los Angeles! Hell yeah! You ready for roller derby action, Laura?
I am so ready.
So ready, and so are these teams. They're getting up there and not wasting one little bitty second to do it. Very excited to be out here for this bout tonight. Is this anybody's first time? Oh, shoot. Welcome, folks. All right, I'm going to explain this, but I'm only going to do it once, and I'm going to do it really fast, so pay attention. That whistle blows. Everybody takes off. The two players with the stars on their heads are the jammers. Those are the point-scoring players. They are going to run or skate around this track. Their job is to catch that pack, and once they catch the pack, they get 1 point for each opposing blocker that they pass. The jam lasts for 60 seconds or until the jammer in the front, the lead jammer, calls it off by patting their hips, which you just saw happen. That's basically it, and at the end of the game, the team with the most points wins. You got all that? Don't worry about it. We'll keep talking all night, and if you have any questions, just ask anybody who looks like they roller skate. Right now, we've got our lead jammer for the Scream Queens. Looks like Tenacious B, although I'll probably have a better time finding that out if I wore my glasses. What do you think?
I think that's a good idea.
I remembered sooner this time. It took me like 3 or 4 jams at the junior game.
I think I need glasses.
Yeah, this is a great place to find that out, it turns out. All right, the lead jammer. You can always tell who the lead jammer is because the referee is pointing at them and holding up an L. That lead jammer, once again, Tenacious B, picks up 5 points for the Scream Queens. Scream Queens out first, and Fight Crew got some bodies in the box. 2 down for Fight Crew, 1 down for the Scream Queens. And what happens here is if you commit a penalty, you sit in the box.
Looks like we have penalties for number 925.
Yeah, that's 2 directional blocks for Sweet Home Alabama, directional for Jane Woe, and a low for Pip Girl. Fight Crew's out and lead. Bell Scorcho through that pack instantly. Just kind of teleported from the back to the front for as much as I could see. We call that the hit it and quit it. Get those points, call it off. Don't waste any of your valuable time. After all, it's only 4 15-minute quarters. Gotta use every second.
No penalties in that last jam.
Oh dear. Mona Lethal tried to take an assist off of a co-fight crewer, and both of them wound up on the inside. Scorcho trying to hold 421 Dread and Roses back at the front of the pack. Gets joined by 1964 Mary Poppins. Ooh, just on the point of escaping, the Scream Queen's jammer tangles up wheels, goes down. So it's Fight Crew in command. Mona Lethal wearing the star for the team in red. Big blue wall there in the back. Lethal's got to, yep. When that's the case, you just have to try to make as much as you can out of it and call it before that other jammer gets up. And Lethal makes 3 points out of it. Not too shabby. Scream Queens pick up 1. It's 7-6 Fight Crew.
Looks like we got an arms penalty for number 513, Doomsdaisy.
So Doomsdaisy's sitting in the box. Fight Crew out once again. That's Jane. Whoa. Chick Van Dyke in hot pursuit. Pip Girl takes Damage Dame out, and they both go out together. That's neighborly, right? And at the end of the chaos, it's 3 more points for Fight Crew, taking them to 10. Coach Brooklyn Decker making some changes on the jammer line, and that's because Chick Van Dyke has reported to the penalty box for a low block. That means this is going to be a power jam. Power jam in favor of Fight Crew. 1 jammer on the floor, 1 team that can score, and that team is Fight Crew. But boy, oh boy, that jammer's not going anywhere.
No, the Scream Queens were really doing a good job of holding that jammer back.
And finally, YOLO is out. 40 seconds left on the jam clock. That's still plenty of time, especially if the jam goes this slow. This is exactly what YOLO and Fight Crew want, although I don't think YOLO wanted to mess with Hannah Barbarian like this up at the rail. Gandalf the Cray also in this pack. This is a tough defensive pack for the Scream Queens. I love to see a pack like this because it's the Scream Queens really like having faith in their defense rather than just trying to run away and make it fast, which is also a perfectly cromulent way of running a power jam. They said, no, we got these tough ass bitches. Excuse me, we have these incredibly talented skaters, and we trust them to stop that jammer, and they did to the tune of just 5 points.
Looks like we have a penalty on number 26, Betty Rampage.
Yeah, it's above the shoulders for Rampage. Pophams out in lead for Fight Crew.
Valley Hurl jamming for the Scream Queens, working really hard in that pack.
Pophams is through. That's a full pull. Has Hurley got out yet?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. There goes Valley Hurl. Valley Hurl is out. But Pophams is in there and scoring once again. Collects them all. Almost all. 9 points. 9 points for Fight Crew. Fight Crew were undefeated in 2025 season, but they went down in an incredibly hotly contested championship game to Tough Cookies, 128 to 115. Oh man, was that a game?
Looks like a couple of directional blocks.
Slamming Amazon, laps the pack, picks up 5, and has got 40 seconds left on this jam clock.
Knockout making a run for it, but shut down by the Scream Queens defense.
Yeah, this pack is in front, though. They got to get, yeah, there they go. They go up to rejoin the pack up front, which gives Knockout a little bit of maneuvering room. Not a whole lot. Jam clock is running out, 15 seconds. Sly Fox, oh, thought Sly had Amazon locked up, takes Amazon to the infield. Pack's in the front once again. Amazon breaks through, grabs that last point, 10 points, big jam for the Scream Queens. Scream Queens go to 16, and we have a timeout.
Looks like Knockout is in the penalty box.
Ooh, yeah, then that's going to be a big one. Knockout with a back block penalty.
2 Scream Queens with an arms on number 226, Radom.
And a failure to reform for Chick Van Dyke. So the bad news for the Scream Queens is they're going to be down 2 blockers in the next jam. The good news is Fight Crew's not going to have a jammer.
I'd take being down 2 blockers over not having a jammer any day.
If you get to pick, that's I think that's a good choice. This bout is brought to you by the Vernon Community Fund. The Vernon Community Fund provides charitable contributions to community-based organizations and governmental agencies in support of efforts to improve the quality of life, strengthen families, and affirm Vernon's ties with neighboring communities in pursuit of bright futures. Thank you, City of Vernon. The best thing to come out of Vernon since Farmer John's hot dogs. Farmer John's. Sorry, every now and then I get possessed by the spirit of Vince Scully.
Great.
We also want to thank everybody who has chosen to join us on our YouTube channel tonight. And hey, that can include some of you right here in the house. If you've got a shout out or something, just go to YouTube, look up Derby Dolls, and put something in the chat. We got Lee Fox, 7600, cheering for No Fox Given and Fight Crew. Fight Crew's gonna need your cheers because right now everything's coming up. Scream Queens, they got this power jam. And here we go. Valley hurls through! 42 seconds on the jam clock. Fight Crew reconvenes at the front, and Pip Girl says, let's get out of here. The pack has to comprise skaters, blockers from both teams, skating within 5 feet proximity of one another. If the pack is broken, you'll hear the refs yell, no pack, and throw up their arms like they're sick of all of them. And at that point, jammer taken to the infield. At that point, it's the responsibility of both teams to reform the pack, either by slowing up if they're in the front or speeding down if they're in the back. Slowing up and speeding down? That's how you say that, right?
I think that's correct.
Sounds good to me. All right, and Valley Hurl, after a quick escape, is held to just 2 points. Big defensive show up there for the Fight Crew.
Really strong defense in the power jam so far this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything 5 points, if 5 points is a win in the power jam if you get to hold them to just 5. But Fight Crew kept them to 2, which is very impressive. Oh, man. Skeeve lays one on the Scream Queen's jammer, and once again, Mona Lethal's out for Fight Crew.
Looks like Chick Van Dyke jamming for the Scream Queens.
Coming up on a wall in front, Skeeve and Sly, but they get 20 feet out from the blockers in the pack and have to let the jammer go. Meanwhile, Mona Lethal comes around, picks up 4, calls it off. Fight Crew's up 28-18, under 5 minutes to go in the first. We're going to have a 5-minute break after the first, but we encourage you to stay in your seats for it because we will be having a Bougie-sponsored t-shirt toss, so you're going to want to get in on that. Baby V, Vanessa Bludgeons is out, and oh my goodness, did Woes just put one on Tenacious B. And Pip Girl donates another. Fight Crew, they just keep giving, you know?
They're so generous like that.
Pip Girl fighting it out with that blocker. And Tenacious B passes the star. 9 more points for Fight Crew. So what you just saw there is the jammer can elect to take the star off their head and hand it to their pivot. If they succeed in doing that, that's called a star pass. And as soon as the pivot has the panty on their head, they become the jammer.
Looks like we have a directional block on number 818, Valley Hurl, and another directional block on, is that Doomsday?
That was Doomsdaisy.
Doomsdaisy.
So each team with 1 blocker down. Belle Scorcho's out there doing the doggone thing for Fight Crew. Belle Scorcho called the Juniors game with me earlier today. So she put in a full day's work already, and now she's out here trying to catch Slam and Amazon, and does it! Quick feet by Jam Rep suspect Ed, keeping everybody safe out there. And Belle calls it all. Morningwood reports it's another 8 points. Fight Crew stacking them up.
We do have a penalty on Fight Crew number 802, no Fox given. I cannot read what it says.
It's a multiplayer block.
Thank you. See,
I remembered the glasses.
This is why I need glasses.
All right, 4:21, Dread and Rose's lead jammer for the Scream Queens. Big opportunity for them to make some of these points back in the waning moments of the first. Hanna-Barbarian tries to set a pick at the front, isn't able to do it, and Dread and Roses gets hung up trying to push Sly Fox. Sly Fox does not choose to be pushed. That is a real tough pairing up there. Looked like Whiskey was going to come forward to try to break that jammer free. But instead, Dread and Rose is left to their own devices to try to push the action out 20 feet away from the pack, at which point the blockers will have to let them go. And that's time. Under a minute to go in the first. Fight Crew out to an early lead. But 8 more points for the Scream Queens. That'll help.
Sly Fox is in the box with
Fox
a
in box.
blocking out of play. And I think that's Sweet Home Alabama with a directional block. And we have a low block on Hanna-Barbarian.
Wow. Baby V is just a cannonball in that pack. Charged to the front just to sit in the kitchen of some of those blockers. Now charges to the front again to put one on Matrix, or excuse me, on Chick Van Dyke. What a powerhouse. Jake Van Dyke went for the jammer on jammer block. Came out the worst for it. 5 more points for Fight Crew.
I respect the commitment to grabbing that 5th point.
Absolutely, and that is your first quarter. Fight Crew ahead, 50, Scream Queens 26. All right, and now, I promised it, and it's gonna happen. I wouldn't lie to you folks. We're gonna have ourselves a t-shirt toss. We are. We are. It's going to happen. I believe it. I'm also going to write down these penalties. All right, if you want a t-shirt, you better make some noise. If you yell loud enough, somebody's going to throw a t-shirt directly at your head. That's Vita and Rocky out there throwing those shirts, courtesy of t-shirt toss sponsor Bougie Spirits. Bougie is an LA-born beverage company crafting elevated, low ABV canned cocktails with no shortcuts. Bougie launches with a Japanese whiskey highball lineup, including Yuzu Fizz and Fuji Apple. Clean, crisp, and made to bring people together. Visit bougiespirits.com, that's B-U-J-I spirits.com, and use the discount code DERBY for a 20% discount off your purchase. And check them out. They're so nice over there at concessions. They'll give you a little taste before you buy. They gave me a little taste of a couple of these. The Fuji Apple is fantastic. Yuzu was great too, and I'm not usually a Yuzu guy. But yeah, fantastic stuff. It tastes light. It's about 8%, so you don't want to pound them or anything. But they're not going to put you on your ass if you just drink wine.
I love Yuzu, so I'm going to have to check those out.
Oh yeah, definitely check it out. And the nice thing too is, like, as a whiskey highball, it's not like whiskey, but it's not over sweet, it's not over alcoholic flavor, but you still taste the flavors and you still get a whiskey taste at the end. It's really a surprising drink. I liked it. I'm drinking one right now. Anyway, we're going to be back in about 3 minutes, so enjoy. Welcome back to the second quarter of exciting roller derby action here at LA Derby Dolls Doll Hall in beautiful Vernon, California, where Fight Crew are leading the Scream Queens 50-26.
We're starting with 2 Fight Crew skaters in the box. That looks like Steve Jobs. And who else do we have in the box there?
I don't know. Kind of looks like Baby V, but I can't see that far. Boy, they blew the whistle. I barely see anybody moving. Welcome back also to everybody in the chat, where Haunt is rooting for both sides, but especially my derby wife, Captain Gandalf. Aww. There goes Hannah Barbarian, starting it off right for the Scream Queens. Hannah gets around the high, but is taken inside by Skeeve. Not Skeeve, excuse me, by Sly. The numbers are very close. 11, 11-5. Let's leave out the part where one of them's blonde and one of them's brunette. That doesn't matter. I'm just looking at numbers. I don't see hair color.
The helmets are so shiny, it's hard to see hair color.
Yeah, it's the shiny helmets. Oh my goodness. Suspect Ed, absolute violence to enforcers. We can't have that. Ed shakes it off, reports 5 points for the Scream Queens. Daughtry 33 says, go Fight Crew, sending cheers from Jersey. Paul Simon says, Fight Crew's in the lead. Excellent, keep it up, you guys. And Jerry's in Albuquerque, also cheering for Fight Crew and Pip Girl. Nobody in the box. Nobody escaping this pack. My goodness, all the blockers are swarming those jammers. It's like ants on a dropped Cheeto.
I see Chick Van Dyke trying to force her way out of the pack.
Oh man, Woes so tenacious and really creative with those hip blocks. But Chick Van Dyke makes it! Popham tries to go on defense, but no, nothing doing. Chick Van Dyke gets almost all of them and calls it off. I just realized that Chick Van Dyke and Mary Pophams were skating against each other. That's cute. I like it.
Delightful.
Looks like 7 points there. 7 points for the Scream Queens. And they are mounting the comeback. That is 12 points unanswered since the start of the second. We've got 1 in the box for each team.
Looks like directional blocks on 2 skaters. That looks like Radom and Vanessa Bludgeons.
Yep. Directional blocks all around. Oh no, just as they escape the pack, Knockout has to come back, reset, trying to avoid the dreaded cut penalty. And resets very conservatively, so that means we got a jammer race. Jammer race, jammer race, jammer race.
I love a jammer race.
Jammer races are great. And Knockout calls it off. That's such a tough decision, and you have to make it so quickly. Just as Knockout was knocked off the track, the skaters in front were called out of play, so theoretically she could have gotten right back on.
Well, she did something.
She sure did.
Knockout is in the box.
Oh no, not Knockout! Knockout's in the box. This makes this a power jam. Oh, got a cut penalty. Well, shut my mouth, huh? See, this is why I'm not wearing black and white and out there calling penalties, because they know the rules better than I do. All right, Scream Queen fans, make some noise. You've got a power jam. Slamming Amazon, where's the star? There goes the whistle. And there escapes in under 5 seconds. Amazing.
That was amazing. I was about to say it's really hard to get out when the pack is full like this, but not for Amazon.
And Amazon opens up that wall, strolls on through. Amazing yet again. That was a very fast 5 points.
Amazon through again.
Oh, just runs into that fight crew pivot. Who's that? That Woes? Yeah, that's Jane Woe. Kind of slows down Amazon's rampage, but what a beautiful rampage it was. Amazon calls it off with 1 second left on the jam clock. I don't know, I think you could have scored another 5, Amazon, but 13 points!
We had a stopping penalty and a directional block, both on fight crew skaters.
So fight crew, after wearing 13 in that power jam, also has to put 2 in the box. Chick Van Dyke gets back on the track, gets held up by the combined might of Steve Jobs and Sly Fox, but Chick Van Dyke is out. Woo, Mona Lethal barely holds on the inside, also escapes the pack, and there goes fight crew trying to race this. Refs call split pack. Skaters in the front slow down, skaters in the back speed up, and there's that pack once again. Oh, beautifully timed block by Sly. Forcing the call off and holding what looked like a very dangerous jam to just 4 points. Brooklyn Decker calls a time out for the Scream Queens, or attempts to anyway. There it is, there's that timeout. So as the teams go to talk it over, why don't you tell us about the very exciting Drag Bingo fundraiser for Derby Dolls X?
Absolutely. DDX is doing a drag bingo fundraiser next Friday, May 1st. And that will be with LA-based drag performer Spike Prince of Cats and the Derby Dolls All-Star Team DDX. Join us at Native Sun Brewery in the heart of downtown for a night of hard-hitting bingo, action, drag performances, prizes, drinks, and more. It's going to be a great time, guys. You won't want to miss it.
It's going to be super fun, and even if you don't like bingo, and who doesn't like bingo? I mean,
no one doesn't like bingo.
No
Everyone
one
likes
doesn't
bingo.
like bingo. But if by some bizarre set of circumstances you don't like bingo, first of all, I don't believe you. But second of all, there's going to be loads of other stuff to do. It's going to be there's going to be a food truck.
I love food trucks.
I love a food truck. There's going to be all kinds of fun stuff, and I really think you should come out. And all of the money goes to help get our travel team to travel, because they've got the Battle on the Bank coming up. And if they don't want to walk there, then we're going to have to buy some plane tickets, aren't we?
I think we will, and they're going to crush it.
So you can help them out by coming out and having a great time. That is a win-win-win for everybody.
Mark your calendars. It's Friday, May 1st, 7:30 to midnight.
That is very close, so yeah, go to that. All right, there goes the whistle, and the jammers seem to be thinking it over. This is an unusual strategy. You don't see this every day in bank track. But Valley Earl does skate flat also, so I'm maybe not that surprised to see, of anybody, Valley Earl trying that strat.
I thought maybe Valley Earl forgot she was wearing the star.
And Baby V shakes it all off, cuts out the low. Split pack is the call.
Another jammer race.
The blockers are getting back together. All right, and Fight Crew comes out of that one with 4 points, bringing them within 1 of the Scream Queens, who took the lead on that incredible power jam.
Sweetie in the box for a directional block for the Scream Queens.
By my unofficial count, that is Sweetie's 4th penalty, all of them directional blocks. On your 7th penalty, you are ejected from the game. We don't want to see that happen. And somehow the red wall parts and Bel Scorcho is out and lead for Fight Crew. Amazon tangles with No Fox Given. And Bel's through, full pull for Fight Crew. No Fox Given not giving any quarter to Slam and Amazon, who looks like going on defense. And Bell just slaloms through, oh, making it look gorgeous, gorgeous. Amazon's out. And Bell picks up another 4, bringing the total to 14 points. Takes Fight Crew to 68. Nice. To the Scream Queens 55. I see Captain Gandalf in the box for the Scream Queens, joined by No Fox Given for Fight Crew. I don't know what they did, though.
Maybe it's going to remain a mystery.
They're not telling. They did secret penalties. Their penalties were so shameful they cannot be named.
I see a couple of directional blocks. And is that an assisting out of play? Anchata.
You don't see that one a lot. I don't even know what assisting out play would look like. But the refs do, and that's why they called it. 4 more points for Fight Crew. 5:40 to go in the half. At halftime, we would love to invite you to check out concessions, buy yourself some merch, go on outside and see what the vendors have to offer. There's roller shirts out there. They make custom scrimmage shirts and some off-the-rack stuff. It's all real cute. Griddle Cakes is out there, and oh my God, they have some of the most adorable stuff imaginable.
Wow, that was a beautiful rail spin.
Jane Moe is out for Fight Crew. There's a fettuccine truck. I've never even heard of a fettuccine truck.
I haven't either, but I'm excited to have some fettuccine.
I don't think I've seen that move since Bruce Springsteen did it at the Super Bowl. I think that was 1989, I want to say. Woes goes into the pack on their knees, recovers. And Woes calls that off after getting 8 more points for Fight Crew. 80-55. But Woes goes to the box.
That means it's a power jam.
That's right, that's a low block from Jane Woe. This is a power jam. Scream Queen fans, make yourselves heard. Big opportunity for the Scream Queens to reclose this gap. They regained the lead on a power jam earlier in this game. I'm sure they'd love to do it again, and there goes Valley Hurl trying to make it happen. It's a split pack. Both teams have got to reform. The ones in front couldn't go much slower. That's such a tough position because you have to reform the pack, but if you're already at a crawl, what can you do?
You can't stop.
No. The portion of the pack that was in the back wanted their teammate to rejoin them so that they could be the pack, and the ones in front would have to let Valley Hurl go, but the timing is just not working out for them. Everyone's back on the track, and everything's moving a little bit faster. Oh, my goodness. Big hit from No Fox Given sends Fox and Hurl to the ground. No. No, there we go. 5 points. I thought it was no points for a second. I thought, that's not right. 5 points for the Scream Queens.
Looks like Betty Rampage in the box for the Scream Queens. With a failure to reform, uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
And there's a jammer penalty on Valley Hurl for a back block.
Back block. Oh, yeah. So we're going to exchange power jams. This one's for you, Fight Crew fans. Baby V dons the star for the team in red and makes it out the front. Fight Crew have one locked up in the back, keeping this slow. Big hit from Damage Dame, but Baby V makes it through. Pack's in front right now. Baby V gets one, gets the 2 in the box. 4. One more to beat. But Chata is refusing to get scored on. Waiting for the referees to report the score so that I can yell and you can all cheer. And here it comes, 9 points!
Oh boy, we got a lot of penalties.
Holy smokes.
I see some directional blocking, I see a stopping, I see it above the shoulders. So it looks like 3 of the Scream Queen skaters got penalties in that last jam, which means only 2 of them can sit in the box at one time.
That's
the
right.
other one has to skate.
Yep, that's called a must skate, and so it means that the last skater will sit in this jam even if they didn't do anything bad in it. They will sit in the next jam. That's the thing about roller derby. It's so fast-paced that sometimes by the time we get done writing all the penalties down and then explaining the penalties, the jam's over.
Fortunately, there were no penalties in that last one.
Thank goodness, because we only have 30 seconds left in this half. This will probably be the last jam of the half. We'd love you to spend halftime buying raffle tickets. Got all kinds of great raffle prizes. Go to concession to buy yours.
Chick is out of the pack, but we have a jammer race.
Chick Van Dyke hits it, quits it, and there's still time on the game clock, so we're going to have one more jam. So hey, those raffle prizes include a Primal Creatine bundle, powdered and gummies, $50 gift certificate to Benny Boy Brewing, that's outstanding, and a gift bag of Derby Doll merch. So buy those raffle tickets at concessions. The raffle will be at between the 3rd and the 4th. That's also when last call for alcohol is too. Just a little trivia for you. There goes Mona Lethal, lead jammer, Fight Crew. And a Barbarian. Trying to get past that mighty 3 wall. Yikes. That looked like a hard fall. I haven't skated here in a while. They don't use soft concrete, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think when you hit that, it hits pretty hard. All right, and that is your half. 3 more points for Fight Crew, 96-60 for Scream Queens. We'll see you back here in 20.
Hello. Hi, welcome to the halftime show. I have Whoopi and Hassel, my besties. Hey guys,
Hey, what's up?
how's it going tonight?
You know, it's going pretty good. I think we have a definite battle on our hands. Like, it feels like they are not pulling back, let's say.
I would concur with that, and I think it's a nice, fast-paced game.
I'm just going to say nice things. I'm not going to say anything controversial. So just bear with me as I just talk about the game and nothing else.
I love a controversy.
And if he does say anything controversial, I will give him a very hard stare and possibly a body check.
Have you ever experienced one of her hard stares before?
I feel like every time I commit a penalty, she does
Give you a hard
give me a
stare?
hard stare. Yeah.
People should feel so lucky to be at the other end of one of my hard stares. Okay.
And you're so right for that. The track, it seems a little slippery tonight. Wouldn't you say, guys?
No, I wouldn't say. Is that controversial? Is that controversial?
I will not comment either way, but I will say that I heard a rumor that there's going to be some resurfacing of the track because they paint it every year and it can tend to get a little slick, especially with the paint buildup.
That's so valid.
I do want to take the moment to plug that Hassel wrote a book. And I think everybody out there should get it because I also wrote in that book.
Wow. What book is it, Hassel?
It is called Burned, Stories About Fire, Real, and Imagine. And I also want to say that we have a member of Fight Crew and a member of the Scream Queens who also have stories in that book.
That's beautiful and
Yeah.
that's amazing.
There's a lot of derby represented in that book. Get that book.
I will be purchasing. Thank you so much to our enforcers. We love them. Thank you, Hassel. Thank you, Whoopi. Have a great...
Anytime you want me back, especially if Hassel's not here, then I can say whatever I want.
I will always be here to look and to stare and to regulate, okay?
Biggest beef of the year, guys. Hassel versus Whoopi. Thank you. Okay, next we have Egg, who is a cookie and and DDX. She's here to talk to you about DDX Bingo.
Hello. Oh, I guess Venus doesn't want to be with me. No, you're good. My name's She Doubled Egg. I play for the Tough Cookies, but I'm here because I also play for the Derby Doll All-Star team. Along with many of the skaters on the track tonight, we're made up of skaters from all the home teams. We are traveling next month to Seattle to play Battle on the Bank, which is the tournament every year where all the bank track leagues get to come and skate together. It's so much fun, but it costs a lot of money. So we are hosting a drag bingo fundraiser next week, May 1st, Friday night at Native Sun Brewery, which is in downtown. You can buy tickets ahead of time, which include your bingo cards, drink tickets. You don't have to come to play bingo. There'll be a drag show, photo booth, merch, where we play in old games. You can just hang out with some derby skaters. I think it'll be a good time. If you're here tonight, you can find flyers posted around. You can scan the QR code to get your tickets. Or if you're watching online, I'll post the link in the chat, or you can go to the Derby Dolls Eventbrite page. We'd love to see you there. It should be a great time. Personally, I played bingo for the first time recently, and I was hooked. It's really fun. So I'll be playing bingo, and you'll get to see many of the skaters here tonight. Come support us, help us get to Seattle, and have a lot of fun and watch a drag show. May 1st, we'll see you then.
Thanks so much, Egg. Wow, I'll be there. It's gonna be so fun. I'm an awkward person. Sorry, guys. Bye.
Welcome back to half number 2 of exciting roller derby action, where Fight Crew is leading the Scream Queens 96-60. But you know what? If it's possible to score 96, for Fight Crew to score 96 and a half, it is eminently possible for Scream Queens to do the same or even more. So we got lots of derby left to play, and this is still anybody's game. How are you liking the game so far?
I think it's fantastic.
It has been a pretty exciting game. We've had some big power jams, including one from a 13-pointer from Slammin' Amazon. That was amazing. And we're starting this half off with a challenge. All right, so somebody, and I do believe that it is the Scream Queens, is challenging something that got called right at the end of the half. I don't think they're challenging something that happened during halftime.
They might be.
I don't know, what could they have done? Was there like a panty raid? And I'm challenging this panty raid.
Maybe some crazy stuff happened in the locker room. You don't know.
Hijinks. Locker room hijinks. Well, while they figure all of that out, what happens during a challenge is that the coaches of both teams will go in there. They will tell the head referee what they think happened. The head referee will go confer with the penalty calling referees in the stripes. They will decide what they saw, and they will come back and break the news to both coaches. But right now, I just want to tell you a little bit more about the raffle. Once again, you buy those raffle tickets at concessions, or if you see a strolling purveyor of raffle tickets, you can just flag them on down and say, "Take my money, I demand it." You can win a Primal Creatine Bundle, powdered and gummies. You could win a $50 gift certificate to Benny Boy Brewery. Breaking news, you could win a bougie Japanese whiskey 4-pack or a gift bag of Derby Doll merch. Tickets are 1 for $1, 7 for $5, 15 for $10, and 30 for $20. And if you want to buy more than that, I don't know, negotiate it.
All these prizes sound fantastic, and I would be super stoked to win any of them.
Yeah, it's a heck of a deal, especially that Benny Boy gift certificate. Oh my golly, $50 for the price of $1. You might as well, right?
No reason not to.
No reason not. Well, there's one reason, and that's you don't have $1. But ask your friend. Your friend's got $1, and they probably owe you money. Tell them, "Give me my money, you deadbeat. I'm gonna go win the raffle."
They definitely owe you money.
Somebody
owes you money.
Somebody in this room owes you money. It's your job to find out who and then go spend it on raffle. Shout out once again to everybody watching us on YouTube. If you ever miss a game, if you ever can't come out here, we'd love to see you every single time. But if you ever can't make it, just join us on YouTube at the Derby Dolls channel. People are joining us from all over the world. Jerry in Albuquerque. Pop's sister Allie, wishing Mary Popham and the rest of Fight Crew an awesome game. Oh, it's Volt's birthday. Happy birthday, Volt.
Happy birthday, Volt. Volt is the best.
And if you are here in the house, you can also join the YouTube and post your shout outs there. I'll try to get to as many of them as I can see. Seattle's in the house. Somebody named Robert Vargas, 8293. I know it's you, Scoldy. All right, and let's get back to it, shall we? I didn't see the result of the challenge, but I do see full packs, so draw your own conclusions, folks. Both jammers are out. Fight Crew in the lead.
Looks like Mona Lethal and Chick Van Dyke.
When it's a close jammer race, what you don't want to see is your own color in the back. Lead jammer hits it, quits it, calls it off. 1 point for Fight Crew, no point for Scream Queens. Nobody in the box. Those of you who were watching the Jumbotron here or watching on the screen, we're treated to an absolutely spectacular set of interviews at halftime. I recommend going back to the YouTube and watching the replay because there's some content there you're not going to want to miss. Pip Girl giving Tenacious B a rough time in the back of this pack. Meanwhile, Baby V just slides on through. Vanessa Bludgeon's wearing the star. So deceptive in that pack. I mean, I'm watching the whole thing. I'm not even having to look over my shoulder to try to find Baby V, and sometimes I still don't know where they're at. Yeah, I saw what I thought I saw. 15 points! Amazing jam. 15 points for Baby V and Fight Crew. Takes Fight Crew over the century mark.
I see an arms for Pip Girl and a directional block on Whiskey Behavior.
So each team is down one blocker. Bel Scorcho gets out the front, slamming Amazon in hot pursuit. That's the best kind of pursuit.
What would cold pursuit be like?
I don't know. I don't want it though. If I'm gonna get pursuit, I want my pursuit hot, smoking hot.
Not lukewarm?
No, never. Lukewarm pursuit ain't hardly pursuit at all. That's what I always say.
Got a failure to reform penalty on YOLO for the Fight Crew.
Sonia Sotomayor in Chambers there in the penalty box. Sitting this one out. Fight Crew's down a blocker and it costs them because Dread and Roses is out. Lead jammer for the Scream Queens.
Mona Lethal still trying to fight through the pack.
And that's a full pull for the Scream Queens, 5 points. Bread and Roses, 23 left on the jam clock. Fight Crew Jammer still has not made it out of the pack. Mona sends a blocker into Bread and Roses, and oh my goodness, Sly Fox sends Bread and Roses into the infield. Dread and Roses, excuse me. That's it for that jam. 9 points for the Scream Queens.
No penalties.
Love to see that. Clear eyes, full packs.
We got another jammer race.
Woes came in hot trying to break up that wall. I saw some bodies go down. We're going to see how the officials call this one. Chick Van Dyke was definitely called, definitely. I thought I saw Chick Van Dyke called on a cut. Nope, guess they took it back. So, Damage Dame goes down for failure to reform. Scream Queens down one. Down one blocker. They're down in the game 113-69. Oh, but the comeback starts now. Valley hurl is out. Lead jammer pursued by Sonia Sotomayor. Sly Fox attempting to gather the forces at the front. But No Fox Given gets caught in the back. It becomes a point, 1 point for the Scream Queens, taking them to 70. Nice.
I see an arms and an illegal block. I don't think I've ever seen that penalty code before. Illegal block on Betty Rampage.
Yeah, sometimes we find out what those are. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes the illegal block is, I don't know, it's a block that's illegal. And then it's not legal, and so you can't do it, and so you have to sit in the box.
But aren't all the blocking penalties illegal?
I think some of them are just immoral.
Okay.
Amazon is out, but its Fight Crew is lead jammer. You can always tell who the lead jammer is because the referee wearing their colors pointing at them, making an L with their hand. Four more points for Fight Crew. Scream Queens pick up 1. Just under 8 minutes left to go for you to buy your raffle tickets.
Jane Woe in the penalty box for the Fight Crew.
Yeah, another illegal block. I think there's a rash of them out there. And we're gonna have ourselves, psych. You thought it was an official timeout, but it wasn't. They're just messing with you. It's an official jam.
You gotta mix it up sometimes, you know?
Gotta keep people on their toes. We can't let Derby get stagnant.
Never.
We're always creating, we're always evolving. Oh my goodness, 2 jammers out. That's YOLO and Tenacious B.
Tenacious picked snuck out right behind YOLO. That was beautiful.
But it was all blue in the back there. Fight Crew manages to pick up just 1 before calling it off. Still, 1's better than none. And more than 1 game in this league has been won by 1 point, 2 point, 3 points. Every single one of them counts. Oof.
Chick Van Dyke goes down hard.
Bell Scorcha, lead jammer for Fight Crew. So you and Belle have something in common, don't you?
That's true. Belle and I are both architects.
That is so exciting. I love hearing about the things that people in Derby do when they're not here, because I only ever see most of you out here.
It's true. We don't look like we have real jobs, do we?
It's not so much that. It's just that I'm incredibly self-centered, so I rarely think about people who aren't me and how you might be spending your time when I'm not looking at you.
Oh, that's very reasonable. Looks like we got a low block on Pip and a cutting on Chick Van Dyke, which makes this a power jam for the Fight Crew.
Fight Crew, this is a power jam for your people. Scream Queens fans, you better cheer on that defense. Whoopi Rollberg doing the most, trying to hold that jammer back. Whoopi once again, this time joining a pack of blue. And finally, Fight Crew gets out, but not until over 40 seconds have been burned off the clock. Great defense by those Scream Queens. Sweet Home Alabama, Whoopi Rollberg, and Hannah Barbarian just holding it down in that pack. Betty Rampage, too, really successful defense, holds Fight Crew to just 4.
I see a directional block on Whoopi Rollberg and a directional block on Skeeve Jobs. And who else is in the box there? A lot of penalties that jam.
Baby V, lead jammer for Fight Crew. Oh, man, those lateral moves from Vanessa Bludgeons are just incredible. They happen so quickly. Captain Gandalf trying to avoid becoming a point. But Baby V takes the inside, picks up that last one and calls it off. 10 big ones for the Fight Crew. Fight Crew 136, Scream Queen 72, 3 minutes to go in the third. Last call for alcohol is at the end of the third, so if you need another drink, you should go get it.
We got a directional block on Damage Dame.
And otherwise, you should stay here and watch this roller derby action and cheer these skaters on. Fight Crew out in lead. Barbarian tries to put one on, but Bell is moving too quick. Valley her a little slow to get up and rejoin, but still moving well. But it's Bell all day on the inside line. Valley Hurl escapes the pack, 20 seconds left on the jam clock. Betty Rampage puts one on Bell. And Bell decides, let's call this one off. Points for Fight Crew, takes them to 148.
I see Valley Hurl go into the box, which will make this a power jam for the Fight Crew.
Oh, that's an arms penalty for Valley Hurl. 2 low blocks take out Chop Slicks and no Fox Given, respectively. So Fight Crew's only going to have 2 blockers, but the good news for them, they're going to have a jammer. And who is that jammer? Is that Woes? Can't see that far. Oops, one of those low blocks is rescinded. Chop Slicks is innocent. Great job, Chop Slicks. Chop Slicks did nothing wrong. I will not stand for Chop Slicks slander. There goes the jammer, and that is indeed Jane Woe. Jane Woe, one of the top jammers of 2025 in the league by statistics. And oh, you can see why. So fast, so strong, so stable, shaking off hits left and right. Scream Queens managed to slow her roll a little bit, but still through and moving quickly with 25 left on the jam clock. Pip Girl trying to break that wall up, but woo, and a bonus one. We'll be rolled. We're giving the jammer one to grow on. Suspect Ed counting them up. If you'd like to become one of these amazing enforcer team, you can do it. Just email refs@derbydolls.com. They'll train you. You don't have to know how to skate. There's plenty of non-skating official positions. They're fantastic folks, and we could not hold these games without them. We appreciate so much everything that they do.
Vanessa bludgeons in the penalty box with a stopping penalty in that last jam.
13 points is the final tally for the fight crew. This will be the last jam of the third. Everybody stick around because we're gonna be doing our raffle right after this. Sonia Sotomayor is out for the fight crew. The game clock has expired, but the jam will continue until the jam clock expires or until YOLO calls it off. Oh, almost knocked into the infield. Keeps their composure, keeps their feet, and gets that last point, calls it off. 4 more for fight crew, and that's gonna be your third, 165-72. It's raffle time, folks. All right, has everybody got their tickets out? Oh, wait, there's another jam. Sorry, my bad. Ha! I got so excited. I love the raffle. I didn't realize it was gonna be another jam.
Bonus jam.
Bonus jam! And the Scream Queens are in the lead. They're holding back Poppins in the back. They pick up 1, 2. 2 more points for the Scream Queens, and that's your quarter, 165-74. There you go. All right, and now, everybody, please go into your pockets or your special hidey holes, whatever they may be, and pull out those raffle tickets because we are going to award our first prize. This one is a Primal Creatine Bundle, both powdered and gummies, and that's going to the lucky ticket holder holding 303745. 303745. You are a winner. Make some noise if that's you. And go on down to concessions to claim your booty. All right, next up, a $50 gift certificate from Benny Boy Brewing. Raffle ticket 303660. 303660. Is that you? 303660. Come on down and get your prize. Next up, a 4-pack of Bougie Japanese whiskey, generously contributed by Bougie, down there at the bar. 303761. There you are, right on, congratulations. Come on down and get your prize. And finally, a gift bag of Derby Doll merch. Let's dig deep for this one. What do we got? 303735. Did I just call that one? That number sounds so familiar. 303735. A gift bag of Derby Doll merch is yours. Come on down and get it. Thank you to everybody who participated in the raffle. Thanks to all of our generous sponsors who gave us the stuff. If you didn't win this time, try again next time. You're gonna win eventually. Everybody always does. That's not a guarantee. Don't take me to court. But, give it a shot. What do you have to lose? We'll be back in just under 4 minutes. And it all comes down to this, y'all. It is the final quarter of roller derby action here in the game between Fight Crew at 165 and Scream Queens at 74. This is both teams' first game of the 2026 season. Happy to see them starting it off with a bang. Happy to see a very cool knockout poster there in the crowd. Heck yeah! No fucks given, charges to the front to try to help YOLO through that wall. Manages it, very good job assisting. Meanwhile, Knockout is helping to slow down Slam and Amazon. Skeeve joins the fight. And now Amazon and Whoopi Rollberg join forces to try to stop that jammer YOLO. Woo. YOLO tangling up skates there at the end of the jam, calling it off.
No penalties. Full pack for this next jam.
Thank you one more time to everybody who participated in that raffle, and especially everybody who gave us the stuff. You can't have a raffle unless you got the stuff. And sneaking through on the inside line, it's Bel Scorcho.
Tenacious B switched to defense there. Took Bel Scorcho out for a minute.
Yeah, Belle came in with a heavy fake, but nobody was picking up what she was putting down, and so Belle's having a hard time getting through. Sweetie giving her the business, but Belle takes that business all the way through the front. Belle hops back on the track, calls it off. That's the end of that jam. Five points for Fight Crew. Pip Girl to the box, directional block. So in case you were wondering, Bel Scorcho did get knocked off the track by Sweetie, it looked like, but since Sweetie was out of play by that time, Belle was able to get back on the track without incurring a cut. Some nice one-on-one blocking by Skeeve, who was then joined by Laura Lethal to suppress that jammer. Split pack is the call. I don't know what just got called, but it got called incredibly emphatically.
I think it was a failure to reform on Radom.
We will soon find out. One blocker for each team is sitting down.
Failure to reform on each team, as well as a low block on the fight for Mona Lethal.
Now, something must be wrong with my unofficial count, which is why it's unofficial, but I make that 7 for Lethal. You're supposed to be ejected on your 7th, so I must have a miscounted somewhere in there, but Lethal is definitely in penalty trouble. $11 minutes to go in this game. Fight Crew 177, Scream Queen 74. Oh my goodness, that pack was going no place, and still isn't going any place anywhere fast. Belle finally makes it out. Ooh, heck of a hit there by No Fox Given on Amazon. Nice little 3-wall in the back, catches Scorcho. But the pack is split. The blue wall has to move forward. And in so doing, they lose Scorcho to the inside line. Quick little equipment adjustment. And Bell calls it off. With 10 minutes left in the game, you can see Fight Crew kind of go into the clock game a little bit. Maybe not calling it off as quickly as they might have earlier in the game, just trying to burn down some time.
Looks like we got a directional block and a failure to reform on damaged aim, and a directional block on no fox given.
So once again, both teams 1 in the box. Love that one-on-one battle between Hanna-Barbarian and Sly Fox at the front of the pack. Hannah wins, hangs on to lead, but has to call it off. Mona Lethal absolutely breathing down Hannah's neck there. There goes Woes, pursued by Chick Van Dyke. Woes calls it off, picks up 1, calls it off before the Queens can get anything on the board. Hey, we would love to see you tonight at the after party at the Everson Royce near the Arts District. They've got a section of the patio reserved for us beginning at 9 p.m. and the patio is open to all ages. They've got a tasty menu that includes vegan, vegetarian, and gluten-free options. Their kitchen's open till 1 a.m. Handcrafted cocktails, boutique small production wine, exceptional beer, and a vast selection of spirits. Look them up on Google. Everson Royce, that's with a V. Valet parking next door for $10. Street parking, but you know, use your street smarts, use the buddy system. It's a large group, so all tabs will have a 20% auto gratuity added. Please come to the after party. We'd love to see you. Once again, that's at the Everson Royce.
YOLO is the lead jammer for the Fight Crew.
I've
And I
been
think
hearing
just
that a
got
lot.
5 points.
5 points? That's a lot of points. Yeah, the Fight Crew jamming has been very, very good tonight. YOLO, Woes, Bell, Baby V, everybody's been doing their part in there. We've had some real standout moments of defense from the Scream Queens, especially on power jams. Seen some real nice stuff out there, but they just have not been able to stop that Fight Crew jamming core. And it's 191 to 74, under 7 minutes to go in the game. Split pack, and Baby V escapes through the front. Pack's in front now. That's the end of the jam. 0-0 on that one. Once again, we really hope to see you out there on May 1st for the DDX Drag Bingo fundraiser. You can find all of the information at DerbyDolls.com. It's going to be at Native Sun.
I think I see a multiplayer block penalty and an arms penalty on, is that Jane Woe? And Mary Pophams are in the box. Valley Hurl, lead jammer for the Scream Queens.
Sweetie trying to get everybody together and says, come on, let's go. They split the pack. Skeeve and Sly. I hate saying Skeeve and Sly. Their numbers are close, their names are close, and I always trip over it. But anyway, Skeeve and Sly have to go forward. Once again, by the time I get done mispronouncing things, the jam's over.
Got a directional block on number 115, Sly Fox.
And it's time out, Scream Queens. Hey folks, you can scream, you can shout, you can jump all about, but you cannot whistle. Please do not whistle. It is an ejection offense. They will come and get you and they will give you a bad, mean look, and then they will kick you the fuck out. So please do not whistle. It messes up the game for everybody.
Castle will give you one of those looks
Oh,
if you
man.
whistle, and it's all over
You don't
for
want
you.
one of those. Hassel says, I will always be here to stare and to look and to regulate. That was what Hassel said in that halftime interview, and I have no reason to disbelieve her. Once again, that after party, Everson Royce near the Arts District, 1936 East 7th Street, Los Angeles, California. S1 helmets, a symbol of protection, protecting the Derby Dolls since 2009. The official helmet of the Derby Dolls, shop smart, shop S1 helmet smart. Love those shiny, shiny helmets that the Scream Queens are sporting there. Are you part of the Dolls Nation? If you sign up, you get a gift pack including Derby Doll Nation mug, Doll Nation pin, Derby Doll Nation lanyard, and a card holder, a personalized membership card, all kinds of great stuff. There's a QR code that you can scan at the bar, merch, or the entrance booth. Scan that thing before you go, won't you? Both jammers out. El Scorcho in the lead for Fight Crew. Oh, Trick Van Dyke almost made it through there to get some points, but don't think managed it. Two more for Fight Crew. 195-74. We've been seeing it all night. Fight Crew racing the pack with a, with a wall up front, leaving a nice, strong-looking blue wall in back. But unfortunately, it doesn't do much good because Fight Crew's so far ahead. They don't need to get a bunch of points. They can just pick up one, pick up two, and then call it off. Tenacious B getting it at the rail up there. Getting a little help from Valley Hurl trying to get through that front pack of red. Split pack is the call, and it looked like Whiskey going forward to bridge. Tenacious B escapes for the Scream Queens. Two points for the Scream Queens on that jam. 3 minutes to go in the game. We want to remind you, at the end of the game, when the game has been awarded to one team or the other, we will invite all of you to come down quickly and safely and populate the edge of the track so that you can give all of the skaters a well-deserved high five.
Looks like Valley Hurl has an arms and a blocking out of play, and we have a failure to reform on Doomsdaisy. Each team down one blocker.
And Woes breaks out. Lead jammer Fight Crew. goodness.
I loved that spin move. That was gorgeous.
Yeah, it looked like a strong hit by Gandalf the Grey, but with that spinning move, Woes, and with their speed, Woes is able to shake it off. 20 seconds left in the jam. And through for one more full pull. Time runs out on that jam, nothing for Screen Queens. Points for Fight Crew. And that's 210 to 76, just over a minute to go.
And that's a blocking out of bounds on Gandalf the Grey.
Yeah, blocking out of bounds generally is you're coming from the infield back onto the track and you hit somebody before you re-enter legally. Oh, YOLO with the sneak attack. Once again, Fight Crew lining it up in front. YOLO hits it, hits the hips, picks up one on the track and one in the box for a total of 2 on the jam. Maybe. Maybe not. I thought it was 2. But it's the referee's opinion that matters, not mine. All right, less than 30 seconds to go. Please don't come down to the side until the game is over, folks.
Chop slicks in the box for the Fight Crew with a directional block.
If this is our last jam, and it looks like it might be, Scream Queens in the lead. If the team in the lead at the end of this jam has skated clean, then the game is over. If the team in the lead commits a penalty and the other team skates clean, we'll have one more jam. Keep your eye on head ref Metallicile, who will either call for one more jam by pumping his arm like he wants a big rig to blow their horn or something, or will award the game to the team in the lead.
Chick Van Dyke was lead, but she came up on that wall of red.
And regains lead, calls it off. Game clock is expired. 4 points for the Scream Queens, 3 points for Fight Crew. Metallicile calling the skaters down. Both teams have committed penalties.
Jane Woe got a directional block. And
that is your game! Fight Crew are the winners, 213-280. Please come on down quickly but safely and congratulate them on a game well skated and a season well begun.
Please congratulate your Fight Crew. Knockout, Skeeve Jobs, Shock Me Amadeus, Belle Scorcho, Chop Slicks, Doomsdaisy, Sonia Sotomayolo, No Fox Given, Mona Lethal, Mary Poppums, Pip Girl, Vanessa Bludgeons, Jane Woe, and Sly Fox.
That's right. Slap somebody's hand, why don't you? They're wearing wrist guards and they smell real funky. You can take a little souvenir home with you. All right, and please keep the cheering happening for the Scream Queens. Damage Dame, Betty Rampage, Slammin' Amazon, Horchata, Radom, Tenacious B, Dreaded Roses, Whoopi Rollberg, Whiskey Behavior, Valley Hurl, Sweet Home Alabama, Chick Van Dyke, Hannah Barbarian, Captain Gandalf the Grey, Coaches Brooklyn Decker and Black Matrix, the Scream Queens. We want to say thank you once again to everybody who makes these bouts possible, the event staff, the housekeeping staff, everybody who keeps the lights on around here, all of our volunteers, everybody who supports the Derby Dolls, the EMTs, the Track Monkeys, who else? The Doll Repair team, the fabulous people of RAD, and of course, my partner for this evening, Laura Smashley.
Thanks, Trixie. What a great game that was.
That was such a great game, and I had such fun out here with you. We hope to see all of you at Everson Royce, and we're out of here, folks. Until next time, we want you to be safe, be well, and be back here on May 19th for Scream Queens versus Tough Cookies. I'm Trixie Biscuit. Good night. P.S. I love you, Evil E.
Hi guys, welcome to MVPs. Wow, such an exciting game. Here we have Fight Crew and Scream Queens. Yippee-yahoo! I'm gonna give the mic to Kendall.
Hello, hello. Fight Crew, thank you so much for such a hard-hitting game. We tried so many different strategies and you guys were just really super solid. Thank you very much for the fun time. I'm gonna announce MVP overall today goes to Belle. Handing it over to Damage.
Overall MVP blocker goes to Pip.
And overall jammer goes to Baby V.
All right. You guys are the best. That was really hard. And the hard hits were mutual. Ow. Most valuable blocker goes to Whoopi Goldberg. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Most valuable jammer goes to Chick Van Dyke. Yeah, Chick! Woo, woo, woo! Ouch. Most valuable overall goes to Hannah Barbarian. Woo, woo, woo! Yay!
All right, thank you. Wait, what? Wait, what? Right. So next Next Friday, we have Drag Bingo. We'll have the links in the chat. We have flyers on our Instagram. You should go support our travel team. It's going to be a great, super fun time. Yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.